Hello everybody, this is Georgiana with Expressions Craft Studio, and today I'm going to show you some flowers, or not flowers, some leaves that I made using some Tim Holtz inks, some glitter spray that I made, as well as just some regular colored cardstock from Michaels. So how about we get started and I'll show you what we've been playing with. So these are some leaves that I already did, and as you can see, I did cut them out on colored cardstock. And then I used ink blending. Well, actually, on these, I used the Distress Oxide spray, and spritzed and sprayed and till the leaves had some different colors on them. And then I also used a gold shimmer spray that I made using some gold paint, acrylic paint, as well as some alcohol. And the paint to alcohol ratio is you use very little paint and mostly alcohol, and then you just spritz it on. And then I would take the little felt dabbing tool and just kind of go over and touch up a bit with the areas that maybe needed a little bit more color or a little bit more shimmer. This one you can see was actually on white cardstock, but most of them have been on colored cardstock, and I've got something sticky on my tweezers. This was on a nice yellow cardstock, and I think those leaves came out really nice. Here we have some green cardstock, and you can't see it very well, but that one's really got some nice gold shimmer to it. Now the brown cardstock, this is probably one of my favorites. It's a dark brown, but it just looks so nice with the distress sprays and the glitter spray. Here we have more of a craft cardstock with some reds and oranges, and then we have our green. And you can see some of the colors, I like better than others, but when you just mix up that whole pile of leaves, it really does look like a big pile of leaves. So what I'm going to do now is, this is a little bit different technique, not using the oxide sprays. I'm just going to take these leaves that I've cut out of white cardstock, and it's a pretty lightweight, it's an index weight cardstock, and I'm just going to apply some Tim Holtz inks to the felt pad and then just kind of dab them on and spread them around. And I'll go over the various ink colors that I'm using, but here's the felt pad, and this one's from scrapbook.com, but there are a lot of people who make these ink blending tools. And the first color I'm going to use is red pepper, and it's a nice deep red color. And then I'm also going to use some poppy field, which is kind of more of an orange. And then I'm going to add some Valencia on top of that. And then I struggle to find a green, and I'm not real happy with the one that I ended up picking up because it's more of a darker blue, but it's called Stream, and it is also an alcohol ink by Tim Holtz and Ranger. And it's a pretty color. It just wasn't exactly what I was looking for this technique. I tried to hold everything up so you could see it and read it, but the glare was unexpected, so that's why I'm telling you what was in there. So I'm picking up the gold shimmer spray or glitter spray or whatever you want to call it. There's different there's different names for it depending on who makes it. I made this myself. So initially I picked up the rose gold because I thought it was pretty and I hadn't tried it yet. But you will see here in a bit where I use it and then I'm not happy with it. It doesn't show up as well. So I do go back eventually and just grab the gold and just spritz it right over the top. And it tended up to show up a lot better. Now maybe on a lighter colored leaves without this dark blue-green, it would have shown up better, I'm not sure. But I was much happier with the gold when it was all said and done. So I'm just going to take and randomly put some drops of color on my blending pad. And you can use any colors you want. You can drop them on there any way you want. I tend to kind of create my own little pattern, which isn't necessary. It's just kind of the way my brain works. And it doesn't take very much. You don't have to douse that pad with ink. You know, just a couple of drops will be all you need. I do shake them up a little bit. I don't know that you need to. Some of the blending ones have a little metal ball in there to help mix them up. These don't, but I just shake them up anyway because you never know. So then I just start dabbing it down onto the white leaf to add some color. And by now I've realized I'm not real happy with this dark blue green stream color, but it's too late. I'm committed, so here I go. And now I'm just trying to go back in and help fill in those white spots that are still showing up on the leaves. Now this is a Tim Holtz Distress Sprayer Vaporizer, and I actually like the way these work. They're better than anything else that I've bought so far. And that one was filled with alcohol, so I'm just spraying a little alcohol onto the base of that blending pad or felt pad, and I'm just kind of dabbing this and helping blend those colors in a little bit better. I like alcohol because it dries faster. And these will lighten up some once they dry, but they're still a little dark. Just still trying to get rid of some white spots. Which just ended up making my leaves even darker. But when they dried, they actually dried quite a bit lighter. Not as light as I would have liked, but light enough, I guess. I'll find a use for them. So as I put my inks away, I will tell you that I'm about to pull out one of my top secret tricks, and it's really not top secret, that's just me being funny, but it's a pizza box, and it's one that didn't have pizza in it, and I just use this as my background to help catch overspray and stuff so that I'm not making a big mess on my desk. So I'm going to try and apply the rose gold shimmer mist, shimmer spray, whatever. And I see pretty quickly that I'm not happy with the way it looks. But I'm going to go ahead and try to apply it to the felt pad, and I'm just spraying this over my trash can. And then I'm just going to try and dab it on. And I'm looking at it to see if I can see the shimmer, and I really can't. At least not the way I'd like. So I'm going to go and grab the gold shimmer spray, and I'm just going to spray it again over my trash can onto the felt pad, and then repeat that process. So the FA is for folk art, and this, I believe it was 660, is the color of that particular acrylic paint. So here I gave up, and I'm just going to, instead of spraying it on the pad, I guess I decided to spray it right on the flowers. And then I just kind of wipe the nozzle a little bit to make sure it doesn't get clogged up. And I'm going to pick that up and blow on it because you can see it's pretty wet. And so I'm trying to dab a little bit of it off, but I am going to eventually blow on it here just to try and see if I can get it a little bit drier so I can see if I like the amount of gold shimmer that's on it. And right there you can see it definitely shows up better than the rose gold. I'm just going to kind of blot it upside down to dry it a little bit better. And I think you can see pretty well on the camera that that gold does show up really nicely, and it just kind of gives a little bit of shimmer to your project, which I like. I like my stuff a little blingy, and I just set that off to the side to dry. And I'll bring back the previous leaves so you can kind of see that it's a slightly different technique. I kind of combined several techniques actually, and I just think these are a nice addition to your fall themed cards. And there you have it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you again.